For years, the dominant model in cybersecurity has been the castle and moat approach. We build strong firewalls around our networks, assuming that anyone inside is trustworthy. This model is failing. The rise of remote work, cloud computing, and sophisticated cyber attacks has rendered the traditional perimeter-based approach obsolete. Attackers are finding new ways to bypass firewalls and exploit vulnerabilities within trusted networks. Once inside, they can move laterally, accessing sensitive data and systems. The traditional model, with its emphasis on perimeter security, is like locking the front door while leaving all the windows open. The SolarWinds attack of 2020 is a prime example of this failure. Attackers breached SolarWinds, a trusted software vendor, and inserted malicious code into their software updates. This compromised thousands of organizations, including government agencies and Fortune 500 companies. The SolarWinds attack exposed a critical flaw in traditional cybersecurity trust. By compromising a trusted vendor, attackers gained access to a vast network of systems without ever having to breach a single firewall. This incident served as a wake-up call for the cybersecurity industry, highlighting the urgent need for a new approach. Zero Trust is a security framework that assumes no user, device, or network can be trusted by default. It dictates that every access request, whether from inside or outside the organization, must be verified before being granted. This approach shifts the focus from perimeter security to continuous verification, ensuring that only authorized users and devices have access to sensitive resources. Unlike the castle and moat model, Zero Trust assumes that breaches are inevitable. It focuses on minimizing the impact of a breach by limiting access to data and resources. In a Zero Trust environment, even if an attacker gains access to one part of the network, they are contained and prevented from moving laterally. The Zero Trust model is gaining traction as organizations recognize the limitations of traditional security measures. A recent study by Forrester found that 80% of security decision-makers are planning to implement Zero Trust in the next year. This shift is driven by the increasing frequency and sophistication of cyber attacks, as well as the growing adoption of cloud computing and remote work. The Zero Trust model is built on a foundation of continuous verification and minimal trust. It operates on the principle of never trust, always verify, meaning that every access request, regardless of its origin, is treated with suspicion. This approach eliminates the concept of a trusted network or user, forcing organizations to continuously authenticate and authorize every action taken on their systems. One of the key principles of Zero Trust is the use of least privilege access. This means that users and devices are only granted access to the specific resources they need to perform their job functions, and nothing more. By limiting access to only essential data and systems, organizations can significantly reduce their attack surface and minimize the potential damage of a breach. Another important aspect of Zero Trust is the use of multi-factor authentication, or MFA. MFA requires users to provide multiple forms of identification, such as a password and a one-time code sent to their phone before being granted access to a system. This adds an extra layer of security, making it much more difficult for attackers to gain unauthorized access, even if they have stolen a user's credentials. The Zero Trust model is not just a theoretical concept, it's being implemented by organizations of all sizes and across various industries. For example, Google has been a vocal proponent of Zero Trust, implementing it internally and offering Zero Trust solutions to its cloud customers. By adopting a Beyond Corp model, Google has eliminated the concept of a trusted corporate network, treating every connection as if it originates from an untrusted network. Another example is the United States Department of Defense, which has mandated the adoption of Zero Trust across its vast network of systems. The DoD's Zero Trust reference architecture outlines a comprehensive approach to implementing Zero Trust, addressing areas such as identity and access management, network segmentation, and data security. This initiative highlights the growing recognition of Zero Trust as a crucial framework for protecting critical infrastructure and sensitive data. The healthcare industry, facing an increasing number of cyber attacks targeting patient data, is also turning to Zero Trust. Healthcare providers are implementing Zero Trust solutions to secure patient records, medical devices, and other sensitive information. By adopting a Zero Trust approach, healthcare organizations can better protect patient privacy and ensure the integrity of their systems. The challenges of implementation. Navigating the complexities of zero trust. While the benefits of zero trust are clear, implementing it is not without its challenges. One of the biggest challenges is the complexity of modern IT environments. Organizations often have a mix of on-premises and cloud-based systems, making it difficult to implement a consistent security posture across the entire infrastructure. Another challenge is the need for a cultural shift within organizations. Zero trust requires a fundamental change in how organizations think about security, moving away from the traditional perimeter-based approach to a model of continuous verification and minimal trust. This shift can be met with resistance from employees who are accustomed to operating in a more trusting environment. Furthermore, implementing zero trust requires significant investment in new technologies and expertise. Organizations need to invest in tools for identity and access management, network segmentation, and data security. They also need to train their IT staff on the principles of zero trust and how to implement and manage these new technologies effectively. Section 6. The evolving threat. Landscape, generative AI, and the need for adaptive security. The threat landscape is constantly evolving, with new attack vectors and techniques emerging all the time. One of the most significant developments in recent years is the rise of generative artificial intelligence. Generative AI can be used to create highly convincing phishing emails, deepfake videos, and other forms of malicious content that can be used to deceive users and gain access to sensitive information. The increasing sophistication of cyber attacks, fueled by technologies like generative AI, underscores the need for adaptive security measures. Zero Trust provides a framework for building adaptive security systems that can evolve and respond to new threats as they emerge. By continuously verifying identities, monitoring for suspicious activity, and enforcing least privilege access, organizations can stay ahead of the curve and mitigate the risk of a successful attack. Section 7. Beyond technology zero trust as a company-wide culture. It's important to remember that zero trust is not just about technology, it's a mindset, a culture that needs to be embraced by everyone within an organization. This means fostering a security-conscious culture where employees are trained to identify and report suspicious activity, understand the importance of strong passwords and multi-factor authentication, and adhere to data security policies. Implementing zero trust successfully requires buy-in from all levels of the organization, from the CEO to the newest intern. When everyone understands the importance of security and their role in maintaining it, it becomes ingrained in the company culture. This collective awareness and commitment to security best practices significantly strengthens an organization's security posture. Section 8. Investing in the future, the role of education and training. As the threat landscape continues to evolve, so too must our approach to cybersecurity education and training. Traditional security awareness training programs, often focused on basic password hygiene and recognizing phishing emails, are no longer sufficient. Organizations need to invest in comprehensive training programs that educate employees about the principles of zero trust, the evolving threat landscape, and their individual roles in maintaining a strong security posture. These training programs should be tailored to different roles and responsibilities within the organization. For example, IT staff needs in-depth training on implementing and managing zero trust technologies, while other employees need to understand how their actions can impact security and what to do if they encounter suspicious activity. Investing in cybersecurity education and training is not just about mitigating risk, it's about building a more secure digital future. By equipping employees with the knowledge and skills they need to identify and respond to threats, organizations can create a more resilient and secure digital environment for everyone. Section 9. The road ahead, zero trust, and the future of cybersecurity. Zero trust is not a silver bullet, nor is it a one-time implementation. It's an ongoing journey, a continuous process of evaluation, adaptation, and improvement. As technology continues to evolve, so too will the threat landscape and the security measures needed to counter it. Organizations that embrace zero trust, invest in ongoing education and training, and foster a culture of security will be best positioned to navigate the complex and ever-changing world of cybersecurity. The road ahead may be challenging, but by embracing a zero trust approach, organizations can build a more secure and resilient digital future.